All right, guys. Hello. It's the Struggle Ship.
Welcome to the Struggle Ship podcast.
All right. Well, it's Struggle Ship podcast number 1. It's a show where we just talk about random subjects and games we're playing, from like video games to music, wrestling, whatever really comes to mind. Really. I'm Andre here with.
I'm Josh.
I'm Bryan. I'm the nice one.
And I'm Ish, the black one.
All right.
Well, racist.
Okay. All right. If they haven't stopped listening already, let's start with the video games we're playing. Ish, you can start
if you want,
and we'll go around the room.
Well, the video games I'm currently playing right now, I'm playing Lost Odyssey. It's a Japanese RPG for the Xbox 360.
Yay.
Shut up, Bryan. It's a pretty good game, but it settles from... It has Metal Gear syndrome. Like, what I mean by that...
The story makes no sense whatsoever.
No, like, there'll be, like, hours upon hours of useless cutscenes, and it's just like, can this game just shut up?
So it's a movie.
I like that.
Sometimes Lost Odyssey feels like a movie and not like a game.
What? Brian's laughing over here.
Metal Gear Syndrome was like, the story makes no sense. Yeah.
Brian was like, yeah, I love that.
Like this makes the most. It makes the most sense because Metal Gear makes no sense. You know what I mean?
That'll be for another podcast.
Yeah.
I guess we talk Metal Gear.
I can talk about my hate for Kojima another day.
But yeah, Lost Odyssey, it's pretty good. The gameplay is really nice and everything. There's some really emotional parts in the story, but overall, I like the game a lot, but I would wish it talked less sometimes. And I'm also playing Kingdom Hearts 2 right now. I decided to replay that. That's one of my favorite games.
Greatest game.
And that's pretty much it as of what I'm playing right now. I'm just trying to get through both of those games.
Bryan, BKO.
All right, freaking you, Bryan.
I don't know who I am, but apparently I'm doing some stuff. So yeah, I'm replaying BioShock 2 because I still have that Let's Play. Apparently, I still have a channel and fans. So yeah, I'm still doing.
Don't subscribe to him.
Yeah, don't subscribe.
And if you are subscribed,
like unsubscribe from this channel too, but whatever. That's a different story. So I'm replaying BioShock 2. Yeah, kind of fun. Yeah, it's not as good as the first one, but action. All right. I'm still.
What was that?
Action.
What was that? Okay.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay?
That was the drone.
Nah, it's
action.
it's I have Tourette's. So fuck it.
Yeah, it's like Tourette's.
I'm still playing the Mass Effect trilogy. I'm still trying to 100% that. And who the fuck dropped something?
Sorry, I just dropped my keys.
Just started over.
I just dropped my keys.
Just cut.
Alright, so you're playing.
So anyway,
before
I was rudely interrupted, I'm playing the Mass Effect
Average Effect
trilogy. The what?
Average Effect trilogy.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry you don't like games with a good story. Anyway, so
What do you mean? I love racing games.
It's fucking hilarious. You must be one of those guys that loves the NASCAR shit. Okay.
Yes.
No, not a little more than some NASCAR.
Going around
Talladega
circle
Nights,
500 times.
motherfuckers.
Alright, so you're
I'm playing the Mass Effect trilogy, trying to 100% that, which is a fucking bitch, because you have to play the game at least like 3 or 4 times to get 100% on all the achievements, which is fucking retarded.
Okay.
Oh, there goes that Tourette's again.
Action!
I don't want to talk anymore. You guys make fun of me.
Alright, Josh.
No, I'm not done.
So finish talking, Bryan.
I'm done now.
Alright, your turn, Josh.
Okay.
Well, I'm playing Wind Waker for the first time.
Why?
Because it's my first Zelda game.
Why?
Because I'm not I hate Zelda. It's like...
Controversial opinion incoming.
Alright, yeah, fuck my opinion.
I've never played Zelda. I've never played a Zelda game.
The only one I played was Wind Waker
ashamed of
for
it.
like a level, and I got tired of it. I love Wind Waker though; it's so good. And
Didn't you just say you played Wind Waker for a level and then got bored, so now you keep playing it?
oh, I meant Link's Awakening. I played for a level.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is the one that's like the baby one.
Yeah, Link's Awakening is good, but in terms of like Zelda, it's just like the most childish one. Like a young kid get into that one. That ain't Wind Waker.
that was alright. That was like a year ago I played and it just bored me.
All right.
And I'm playing the greatest game I ever played for GameCube, Carmen San Diego.
Carmen San
I thought that was only a computer game.
No, it's for like Xbox and GameCube and PS2.
Wow.
Yo,
Yeah,
$3,
GameCube
so worth it.
Are you really?
I'm so serious. It's so worth it. That game was my childhood.
Oh man.
You must have had a pretty shitty childhood.
Like I said, I remember playing that in computer class. They made us play that in computer class.
They made
I
you
don't think it
play?
came out for
Yeah.
the computer.
Wow.
Nah, I had Math Blaster. I had Math Blaster and the jump
I had
games.
slam dunk typing.
Nah,
Does anyone remember slam dunk typing?
I had fucking Carmen San Diego, so I'm with Josh on this one.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
And I had a Lion King typing game also.
Yeah,
It
I
was
had
like
that too. Timon and Pumbaa and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't have it in school. I
When you had to like eat the bugs as they popped up, and you had to.
And
put
my other
the-
one had like
As
an
a
Alice
kid,
in
that was
Wonderland
so
typing game.
What happened?
I had an Alice in Wonderland type.
Oh, I had a Mario typing game, a Super Mario Brothers typing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario teaches typing. Yeah.
God,
And
you
it's
guys are
like
so
you go through the level, typing words and stuff, and it tells
Yeah.
you like how fast you're typing them, and it was pretty cool.
It was actually not that bad for kids like
Yeah.
computer Mario game.
But then again,
That's how I learned to type
But then
fast.
again, it's a Mario game where kids learn to type. Which is stupid.
It's still better. It's better than Mario Paint.
Damn it! You have to learn while you play video games. What is this?
Who says
Learning.
video games aren't educational?
Learning.
So,
Ew.
so Josh, is that it for what you're playing right now?
Basically.
All right.
Andre.
Your turn,
Andre,
Andre.
unfortunately, you're
Oh,
last.
hold on.
Who you playing?
Before I go, what you said. Oh, video games teach you something. There's actually a story of a little kid who saved, his grandma, because his grandma was driving them from somewhere. He was with his grandma and his little brother, and the grandma passed out for some reason. I don't know why. And he actually drove the car like off the road so it wouldn't get hit by anything or crash into anything. And
Because he
when
learned
the
how to
news
do it.
reporter asked him or whatever, the cops asked him, how'd you do that? He was like, oh, I just learned from Mario Kart.
How old was the kid?
Like
He's
8-ish?
yeah.
Really?
He's like
it was
8.
really
He
young.
was just like, oh, I just learned from Mario Kart. So
That guy gets.
Yeah.
That
so
guy
whoever
gets,
thinks video games don't teach you anything, suck it.
Yo, that guy gets the badass medal of the week. Right there.
I give it the month because
The
that
month.
was
Jesus
month.
Christ.
that's pretty amazing.
Wow. That's
pretty
pretty
good.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
So where you playing?
Andre, what are you doing? Tissues.
PC, I'm still playing Hotline Miami, and Binding of Isaac.
Well,
Pla-
that's a game that you never stop playing.
Oh yeah, that game's
doesn't
so
really
that
count.
game's so good.
Or just
Well,
never-
actually, I
or
mean, you
just
can
never
stop
start.
playing it after. I think it has how many? I
Start.
think it has like 10 endings. Probably even more.
Even that, you still keep playing because it's that good.
Yeah, I'm still playing Hotline Miami. I haven't played that in a while though. PS3, I'm playing the Uncharted series. Right now, 360. I have a lot to play for 360. I have Bayonetta. I still have to play. Dead Space. What I'm playing right now, as of right now on the 360,
Like
is
right now, before you're even talking, right now. As you're talking, you're playing this right now.
No, I mean like
immediately,
figuratively,
at this exact,
like-
direct, indisputable, indirect moment of time. What are you playing exactly right now?
Well, the game I'm currently playing
There
is
you go.
The Walking Dead 400 Days because I totally forgot that it came out like weeks or probably even a month ago.
You might need this.
And see, the thing is that I don't know what you feel about it, but Ish and Bryan are they're like, we don't like the Walking Dead games because they're too depressing.
Wait.
So
wait.
you said that. Don't even.
No. I did not say
Yes,
I don't
you-
like. I said I like the game.
Oh, okay.
I
All
said,
right.
I
Bryan
just-
said he doesn't like it.
I
'cause
said
it's
I
too
like
depressing.
it. I don't know how Bryan felt about it. I said I like the game.
Okay.
It's very good. But for me, I found it overly depressing.
Yeah.
That's why I can't.
But I think
replay
that's
it.
the point of it. Like
It's-
it's not like
That's
it's like
what-
damn.
It's
Yeah.
not a game. It's a story.
I mean,
that's
but
why, like-
if you take in the fact that what
Yeah.
the game is about, it has to be depressing.
That's why, like,
Yeah.
I
That's true.
respect
I'll
the
give it
game
that.
for what it did. But personally, for me, I personally can't keep playing it because it depresses me too much.
Yeah.
But I respect the game.
I like depressing.
I don't-
Like the depressing stories are the stories you remember the most. Like the games from Rockstar, like or a movie. If you watch a movie, if the main character dies at the end, you remember that movie.
Not
Because it's
necessarily.
Yes,
Not necessarily.
because it's like damn.
It depends on how you know the character. If they go in depth of how the character is, like if you know them and you like them, then of course the death is going to impact you. If you don't
Yeah.
give a shit about him and he dies, oh no, he died. Oh god.
No, but you're still gonna feel the same.
I
mean-
because it's the main.
But I mean, if you're playing a video game and you're not attached to the main character, what's the point of finishing the game?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
why
So-
some games like GTA 4, I don't hate that game,
I do.
but I found the main character so boring that I just couldn't like continue on the game.
I went to GameStop yesterday, and the guy working there made one of the best points about GTA 4 I've ever heard. He said it's a sandbox game without sand, which means there's really nothing you could do in GTA 4. There's nothing you could do in GTA. He said all you do is drive around and kill people. I mean, yes, you do have the occasional like mini games, like what you could go on dates, you could drive.
Let's go bowling.
Yeah, you can go bowling, but like, I mean, now I hate when people do this, but I'm gonna do it. Like,
Controversial
if you-
opinion incoming.
no, not really, but I mean, yeah, we had San Andreas, last generation. So when people were saying, "Oh, GTA 4 is coming around," everyone's expectation was like,
really high.
"This has to be
Yeah.
better than San Andreas because it has to have what it
San
had
Andreas-
and more."
San Andreas put the bar really high.
Yeah, it really did, and I think Rockstar like kind of dug their own
Wait,
like grave when
before-
it not like the whole Rockstar. I mean like when it came to the next GTA.
Yeah.
Because after San Andreas, it was what Liberty City Stories and Vice City
Yeah.
Stories.
Which
Yeah.
continued on GTA 3 and Vice City Stories.
They
Yeah.
weren't bad though.
No, they
Yeah,
weren't bad.
they were
Actually,
No, I actually like
Yeah,
them.
they like-
honestly,
Liberty City Stories' story was good. There was really nothing much to do. Vice City Stories was kind of cool because you got to like control like an empire and you got to have like a strip club or whatever.
I'm actually just the opposite. I'm not a big fan of Vice City Stories, nor am I'm that big of a fan of Vice City in general.
Yeah.
I
Really? You didn't like Vice City? I love
not the
Vice
Vice
biggest
City.
City
fan
was
of Vice
actually
City.
like my favorite
Yeah,
one.
Vice City
Nah.
was really good.
Either
Vice
San
City
Andreas,
Stories, I
either
never
San
finished the
Andreas
story.
or Liberty City Stories are my favorites.
Wait. Before you finish what you said, I wanted to bring up what Andre said about expectations. I feel the same way that's going on.
Unprofessional. I'm so sorry. That's
Oh my
unprofessional.
I feel the same thing that's going on that happened with GTA 4 and GTA 5 in terms of expectations is happening in terms of like Kingdom Hearts 3. The fact that Kingdom
Yes.
Hearts 3 finally got announced and it's been so long and so many like side games to help out with the story.
Yeah.
It's not gonna live up to the hype.
When the game comes out, people's expectations for it are going to be so high. Also, the fact that it skipped the PS4 and went straight to the
It skipped the PS3.
skipped the PS3 and went straight to the
PS4.
PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
If that game isn't like the greatest game of all time for Kingdom Hearts fans, no matter what, they're gonna
It's
consider
that
it
bar being
disappointment.
set, man.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah, it has like that Duke Nukem and Diablo 3. Same. Diablo 3 wasn't a bad game, but it's just that expectations for it was so high.
I'm so glad.
No one cares about Diablo 3 anymore.
I'm so glad I rented Duke Nukem Forever.
I don't.
I'm
never
so
played
glad
a Duke
I
I'm
rented
not
it.
gonna lie.
I-
I don't see the hate for it.
I played the demo for Duke Nukem Forever, and I was like,
You guys,
good thing I played this demo.
you
first.
guys set the bar way
yeah,
too high.
I did. I was a big Duke
You
Nukem
got-
fan.
I really didn't care.
never
I just played it
Duke
because
Nukem.
everyone else was playing it.
It wasn't a bad game
Tell you the-
because,
tell you
because
the truth, I was such a Duke Nukem fan. I was so hyped up for Duke Nukem Forever that when it came out, I was like,
You ruined it for yourself.
I was like, I ruined this for myself.
But what's
No,
so bad
honestly,
about it?
I
I
thought
just-
it would be so much more than it was.
I just heard like hype for it, so I wanted to try it out. And when I did, I was like, I don't know what the hype was for because it wasn't really.
What's
that
so bad
good.
about it though?
The thing is, like,
It's the game's not bad, but when you work on a game for how many years? 13 years they worked on it. They worked on it for more than 10 years.
what happened with the game was that
it
the,
switched from six
that-
different
yeah,
people.
The game was supposed to
developing
come out a while ago, but it just kept changing from developer.
It's been in
to developer.
development for more than 10
Yeah.
years.
It was
I mean, Duke Nukem Forever, if you
Yeah.
think about it as a game that's been developed for 10 years, it could have been way better than what it was.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just that they
give an
switched
opinion,
so
never
many
played it.
developers. It seemed like the last developer that jumped on it, the people who made Borderlands, it seemed like they just jumped on it just to
Gearbox.
just throw it out. Because people wanted it so bad, they just jumped on it to throw it out. It feels like some games are starting to be that way. The hype from it getting so big, it's so hard to live up to it. It's with like the hype for Beyond Good and Evil 2 is crazy right now. The fact that they showed a trailer for it and we haven't seen the game in almost like 5 years, that hype is so high. If the game, once the game gets announced, people are gonna go crazy for that.
Wait, for what game?
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Beyond Good and Evil isn't even that good. It's just people want a sequel, and the fact that they kind of announced it, but we haven't seen anything. The hype is just so high.
Like, this is the thing with a lot of people. A lot of people set the bar so high. Let's say with Duke Nukem Forever. It's a game that's supposed to be not taken all that seriously. It's crude. It's rude. It's kind of stupid. Even the original Duke Nukems were meant to be that way. It was a take on like 90s and 80s action stars. All those quotes, all the cheesy shit. The problem is, I don't think it aged well for people. I don't think the character aged well for people, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work as well. I'm a huge fan of those cheesy 80s, 90s, Steven Seagal, fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger ass movies. They're fucking timeless, blowing up shit. Boom! I love that kind of shit. There goes my Tourette's again.
Action!
Action! that makes sense. So when I play Duke Nukem Forever, I'm like, you guys missed the point? I'm like, everyone missed the point. Like, everyone's just bashing the game. It's innocent. It didn't do anything wrong. It's just a Duke Nukem game. It's cheesy. It's supposed to be kind of stupid. It's fun to me. It did its job well. It did its job well for me. So that's why I don't think it's that bad.
The way I feel with Duke Nukem Forever is how I kind of feel with Sonic 06. I actually defend Sonic Team and Sega when it comes to Sonic 06.
That shit was pre-alpha. Don't even joke around. That shit's pre-alpha.
No, I will defend that game. The thing is with Sonic 06, the game's was in development for a while. It's just that people saw the first trailer. They got so hyped up for it. It looked like the first 3D Sonic game because people like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, but that's like a big like Sega crowd. Not like universal critics didn't really like it. But in terms of Sonic 06, really looked like it was going to be the first really, really good 3D Sonic game. But the thing is that the fact that I think they announced it a little too early because when the game got released, you easily see the game wasn't finished.
Yeah, because it was supposed to come out like a year later.
Yeah, the developers said that.
But the fans, they're assholes.
Yeah, the fans were going crazy for it. So they was like, oh, they need it now.
I hate Sega fanboys.
The developers, like Sonic fanboys, are the worst. I'm a Sonic fanboy. I'll admit that, but
so we automatically hate him.
Just leave Sonic alone, okay?
But I will admit, Sonic fanboys are the worst.
What the frick?
Oh man, we gotta.
Oh my gosh, man, that boy is like Bryan times 10.
Yeah, like you thought I was bad with my accent.
There was some video, some like little kid. He looked like he was like 6 or something, trying to defend the game.
The audio level just like went nuts on us real quick,
dude. Like his favorite catchphrase is "What the."
It's like
what the frick?
What the frick? And he also does his best. What the fuck is his name from Superman Returns? Lex Luthor impersonation. Wrong. It's like.
That was a good video.
It was honestly one of the top 5 worst videos I've seen, but it's so bad it's funny.
Yeah, like I was saying though, with Sonic 06 and how Josh said it, it was supposed to come out a year later. Like they play tested it and all that stuff, had people try it. They noticed all the glitches. But Sonic 06, around the time, it was around the time the PS4, I keep saying PS4, PS3, and the Wii were about to come out. And PlayStation, like Sony, they wanted like Sonic 06 because they knew the game would sell. Even if it's a bad Sonic game, they knew it would sell because Sonic just sells numbers like that. The game wasn't done. They were going to delay the game for like a whole year because they wanted to get all the bugs out, fix all the audio problems. Basically, everything bad about the game, they were going to try and fix. But the hype of the game was so big and Sonic fans wanted it so bad because it looked so good. They basically was like, you know what? Around the time the PS3 comes out, just throw the game out there.
And then they get mad because all the glitches that they weren't able to fix in time.
No, they didn't get mad about it. They said that they regret throwing the game out there because they said they should have like dismissed all the hype and all the people that wanted the game so bad and all the people pressuring them to put the game out. They should have just stood back and be like, you know what? Let's finish this because this game is not done at all. And that's why I don't feel... what was that? I don't know. I feel bad for like Sonic fans and like Sega in general. It's because we basically caused the demise of Sonic 06.
It has a lot of potential.
It has a lot of potential.
I enjoyed it.
The music is good. The gameplay looks good, but it's just...
Stop talking. Stop. Did you... Controversial opinion incoming.
Okay, if you like look past all the glitches,
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
There are so many to look over.
There are so many
There's
glitches.
so much shit to look over.
But you can admit when the glitch happens, you can't help but laugh. It makes you happy.
No, it doesn't. doesn't. I'm
It
still
makes me-
playing.
But I mean, you're laughing at something that shouldn't be there.
Exactly.
If you think of
It's
all
a
the
plus.
but
What
I
do you
agree
mean
with
it's a
Josh.
plus? It's not It's not trying to be funny. It's a mistake made
Yeah.
by the developers.
Everybody makes mistakes, Brian. Everybody has those days.
But I do agree
Everybody
with
knows
Josh
what-
that
what's
What?
about.
And you're paying $60 for mistakes?
That's true.
What?
That's true.
Are you kidding me,
it's
Josh?
true. It's
Alright.
their fault for putting the game out,
Borrow
but
it.
you have to kind of feel a little bad for them.
Borrow it. You can't find anyone that has it because they don't want it.
Yeah.
I got it as a gift in 2006.
No
I
lie.
still feel ashamed
Don't
for
lie,
having
I
it.
pre-ordered
Wait,
it.
do you have it, like, as we
No, I
Came
sold
out.
it a long
Really?
time ago.
I bought the game the day it came out. It was my first Xbox 360 game.
Wow.
Worst fucking
Got it
decision
for
ever.
Christmas.
My first Xbox 360
Regret it so
game
much.
was Indiana Jones, Lego Indiana Jones 2, and Kung Fu Panda.
And you don't have an Xbox, so you can't say it,
Well,
Josh.
my first live game was Arkham City.
All right.
Oh,
Or Steam.
my first Xbox
No, 'cause
game
it's
was
for live.
On
Like,
Steam.
Oh,
though.
Yeah, I'm
go
saying.
fuck
but-
yourself,
Yeah, I know.
Josh.
Okay. What?
My first Xbox game
Is
was
nothing of importance.
asshole. Mine was Dead Rising. Easy.
Dead Rising.
Great game.
Dead Rising was the first 360 game I ever played. My uncle got it.
It was a launch title, right?
Yeah, it was a launch title.
Yeah. Dead,
Not a bad launch
Along
title.
with sneaking.
Dead Rising.
And
Dead
I think
Rising-
Burger Bumpers, I think it was called.
Big Bumpin', Sneak King, and Pocket Bike Racers. Those were the first 3 games I owned, but the first one I actually played was Dead Rising.
That's such a
The
great
first one I ever played, yeah, was I'll probably say Dead Rising.
That hurt it, Brian. Ow.
game.
That hurt
Yeah.
it.
That hurt it. It hurts it.
Anyway, let's
Yeah.
Hurts
let's
it.
change
Yeah.
tracks a little bit here.
Alright, so.
Wait, I don't think Ish was done.
No, I wasn't. No,
Yeah,
I was
he's
done.
done.
That
He's
was it. That was
complete.
basically it.
Yeah,
I'm so-
fucking
I'm
pay
sorry.
attention,
I'm
Josh.
sorry,
Yeah.
because like we cut you off. And
Alright, so the main subject for this podcast we wanted it to be, and my question to all of you is, how do you feel about this generation and or the generation
Coming up.
we are approaching now with all of these features on these, on these video game consoles?
Quote.
Unquote.
So yeah, we could start with Josh now.
Nah, skip me. I need.
Alright, we'll start with Ish, because...
Well, we can start with you.
No, because I need
Yeah,
time
who,
to...
who wants to take the reins on this?
Yeah. Ish, let Ish. Brian, you know what? No, let Brian go.
You love
Alright.
voicing your opinion.
Alright, so
Alright.
so
Let's let Brian go
so
first.
question is, how do you feel about this generation and the generation that is coming up, and how do you feel about the systems, all 3, as you say, PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U,
Yeah.
or and or PC if you want to talk about PC, but
Because
I mean,
nobody talks
PC
about PC.
stays the same no matter what.
Usually.
It only gets, it only
usually.
gets better.
All right.
Yeah, it really only gets better as the games come out. So, all right, so
Action.
action.
You guys are just a bucket full of laughs. aren't you? Anyway, this generation went on a lot longer than it probably should have. In all honesty, from 2006 around to 2013, that's a pretty long time for 3 consoles just to stay around.
Almost 7 years.
Exactly. If you think about it, not too many consoles have that kind of a lifespan. It's usually like 3, maybe 4 years. And
was it?
I'll say a little
I had,
bit
like-
longer than 3 and 4
I'll say
years.
5.
Wait, what was the console that lasted like 2 years?
Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
No, because it came out in '99.
I think I remember
Well,
playing
98.
House of the
Oh,
Dead.
I thought it came out in
Yeah.
'99. Because I know it ended in '01.
So this generation went on a little bit longer than I thought it would have, but there was a lot of bullshit just going around on the industry. A lot of like stupid stuff. A lot of like cash-in sequels, especially on the Wii.
Oh yes.
A lot of like rehashes
Like
about
what?
older game. Like what do you, like
For the
I'm
Wii
talk-
example, you
Yeah.
said.
Oh god.
Name 3. Name 3.
Like a cash-in. for the
Like a
Wii.
cash-in. Oh god. There's this one game that I basically like. Basically, I played a Flash game about this around like 2002. It's basically like a chicken shooting eggs to stop this like horde of, I don't even remember what it was, aliens I think it was. I'm attacking
was
the
it like Chicken
Chicken-
Little?
No, not Chicken Little.
Sounds like Chicken Little.
Like the one with the sky falling, right?
Yeah,
That was the game, Chicken Little.
I think it might. No, not that. It's
What
like
is it
chicken
Oh, yeah,
attack
yeah.
or some shit like that. Whatever. Yeah. And these 2 games I always bring up. I think it was some game that you play like a little pharaoh, not Sphinx like the one on the PS2, not
I
that.
think I know what you're talking about though.
And Ninja Bread Man.
Oh yeah.
Not
Ninja-
No, not
What?
gonna lie. If you play those 2 games back to back, did the exact same fucking game, just a reskin.
Actually, have Ninja Bread Man never touched it.
One of the worst games I played on the Wii.
I just want to say this. Do you agree that Super Mario Galaxy 2 was a cash-in? I feel that game was a cash-in.
Not really. I wouldn't say it.
I say it's a cash-in because when Nintendo came out, they said when they first started the game, they said it was just going to be DLC. They said it was like 20 stages. But they said that after a while, they was like, let's just make this a full-fledged game. I feel it's kind of a cash-in because if you really look at it, it's really not that different from Super Mario Galaxy 1 at all. All they really did was add Yoshi and make the stages, like, make the game harder. Besides that, it basically is the same exact game as Super Mario Galaxy 1.
Then again, it's the same game as Super Mario 64 with a basic concept, so.
But
that's true.
But a lot of games copy Super Mario 64's concept.
I've never played. The only game I've played out of everything is Super Mario 64. So
I've
never played a Galaxy game because I've never owned a Wii, and I've never. Oh, I know I've owned a Wii, but never really went out of my way to
play it.
It's
Yeah.
good.
So
I just feel that game was kind of a cash-in.
I have no problem with that though. It was a
bunch of a lot of companies just seem to lose track of what they're doing this generation. Capcom is one of the big companies that I like to cite. That's just they don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Just stupid DLC lock content you can only unlock with DLC. Just random bullshit. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Isn't that all like Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is?
Yeah, and that's Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I think.
Oh,
they did that as well. Fucking retarded bullshit.
I just want to point out, I'm a huge fighting game fan, so I lost so much respect for Capcom.
Wasn't there
because they do things like
wasn't
that.
there a thing where I'm not a fan of fighting games
I'm not
fighting
either.
games like arcade fighting games boxing games like boxing simulations like Fight Night.
Those are fighting games.
I love Fight Night.
Those are fighting games.
I love UFC, especially online. The online in UFC is phenomenal.
I love Bellator.
I never played.
But wasn't there a thing in Street Fighter where I can't remember. There was locked characters on a disc. It came in the disc, but you still have to buy it.
Yeah, it was on the
that
disc.
I didn't understand. I was like
Wait,
when I
really?
heard it sounded so.
You said Street Fighter, right?
Here's the
Sounded
thing.
so, yeah.
Here's the thing.
Sounded so
Street Fighter
stupid.
Cross Tekken.
Here's the thing. People on the PC, they looked on the ROM of the game and they saw locked characters they couldn't unlock. They could unlock it on the PC, but on consoles you were fucked because there's no way of going into the system files and the bug menus and shit and looking at all of it. So basically, they lock the characters so they can just basically release it later. Just so you have to pay for it.
That sucks.
Why have it on the CD?
If you don't have to pay for them later.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Technically, if you really think about that, I feel that that's kind of illegal because I paid for the game. I paid for basically everything that's on the CD, and you telling me I have to pay more money to pay something I technically already own, which is really messed up.
That could go with the argument that really a lot of gamers have when they say, why do we have to pay more for DLC if it was supposed to be in the game to begin with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some gamers actually make a really good argument that, which I agree and disagree because if you get DLC that comes out months and months and months after the game, then you could tell. I mean, of course, it's gonna be the same engine, and they already have their work cut out for them. But
day one, he's basically talking about day one DLC.
Yeah, day one DLC.
I remember.
Totally agree with that. That's supposed to be in the game.
I don't have a problem with day one DLC if it's free. If you have to pay, because some companies do that, be like, hey, we didn't have enough time to put this in the game. You get this at day one too. You just have to download it.
I remember Mass Effect 3 actually having day one DLC, and it's really stupid because if it's plot driven, I remember Dragon Age Origins having the same thing. They have day one DLC, and it's actually somewhat important to the story.
And you have to pay for it.
Exactly, you have to pay for it if you didn't pre-order it. So let's say somebody it's just screwing up used games and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I think. Well, I always think that ever since about the PS2, the gaming's been going down the shitter. But that's just me. This generation really didn't help it all that much. Not too much excitement coming out of this generation, in my opinion. There are very few titles that I can actually say that are standalones. Let's say you know how on PS3 they're re-releasing a lot of new games. like
Yeah.
the old franchises.
Yeah.
The remakes.
Yeah.
Let's say for this generation, I wouldn't say there would be too much to remake.
Because it's not that memorable.
There's nothing really that memorable in my opinion. It's basically either recycling first-person shooters, sandbox games, or zombies.
Yeah.
Anything else is either indie or looked down upon.
Would you say that indie game developers are making better quality games than the big corporations we see like Capcom, like Ubisoft, like is there a game that you could think of that's better than actually
Like a mainstream game, I guess.
yeah, like a mainstream game? Because honestly, I mean, if you're talking about like story and like graphics and all that, of course the mainstream game is going to be better because they have all that money, and indie developers are exactly what they are. They're independent.
Yeah.
But if you say like fun wise,
Indie developers win that hand.
yeah, it's definitely because I have more time. I have way more fun playing Super Meat Boy or Castle Crashers
Binding
or
of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac more than I have fun playing what? Give me a game, and I'll say if I
Call of Duty. Because that's like...
well, Call of Duty, like you really can't compare. Cause
Call of Field Medal of Honor 3.
no, Infamous is pretty fun.
Call-
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that indie developers like kind of know more than what.
They're more grounded.
Yeah, they know what gamers want more sometimes or most of the time than mainstream developers like publishing like Activision and EA and all the other whatever things.
Problem is they'll never get any like recognition
Yeah.
because it's all about it's game like the people that are supposed to like spread the word about this are gaming journalists and oh god, don't even get me started on those fucking assholes. I think journalism in this generation just skyrocketed down to the fucking pits of hell and it froze down there. It's there's no way it's coming back because it's all about money now. It's all everyone lost their journalistic integrity. Almost every single website I go to lost their journalistic integrity. It just I don't see too many actual journalists stepping up and having like brass balls anymore. It's kind of retarded to me, but that's just me. I think this generation, I'm glad that it's over, and hopefully next generation they can learn from their mistakes, but if it's not, it's probably going to be the nail in the coffin for the gaming industry. Because it's losing money every year. Sony is a big example of that.
Yeah.
They're just...
I was gonna bring them up. I'm actually like wrote down some stuff.
Go ahead, it's your go now. I'm done.
All right.
Oh yeah, that was your turn.
I'm done.
I feel like we were here for like 20 minutes.
No,
Like,
like,
it was your turn.
I knew it was his turn. That's why I was like, let me stay quiet. But okay,
Good job, bro.
the way I feel
I'm proud of
about
myself too.
this generation, I broke it down to.
I just want you guys to get ready because they're just about to drop some real facts.
Okay, I brought. This
I wasn't dropping facts before?
No.
Okay.
No,
It's
you're
like
just
nah.
speaking your mind.
No, but like I'm a huge gamer, so like I've been doing this my whole life. So like I dedicate my life to this. How I feel this generation was broken down, I broke it down into 5 points, and I'll break each one down like one by one, discuss them like that. The first thing I felt about with this generation, it was very gimmicky. In terms of gimmicks, I mean like you had things like touchscreens. Once Nintendo came out with the fact that you could touch the screen to play a game, almost like every single company, they started copying it.
Yeah.
You got iPhone games, Android games.
They weren't the first to do it.
Yeah.
They were just the first to do it right.
Yeah, to get it out there.
Yeah, same thing with that could be classified with the zombies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And I'm not talking about gimmicks just like
Honestly?
I'm talking about all gimmicks.
yeah,
Anything.
Motion control.
yeah.
Motion
Oh
control.
yeah.
All
Again,
that.
we revolutionized
Yeah.
the motion control.
Motion
so what
control was a
did
gimmick.
PS3 and Xbox do? They made the Kinect and the PS3 Move.
Yeah.
Look how well those turned out.
Some companies do it right though. Like Nintendo, they did their motion controls right. A lot of their first party games for the Wii, the motion controls weren't that bad. Skyward Sword is a really good example of that. The motion controls for that are very good in that game. I really like, mainly because of the controls. Some gimmicks aren't bad. Like, I don't mind certain gimmicks where, like, mainly you just beat things up. Maybe some gimmicks are good. You got zombie gimmicks. Some companies doing right, some of them don't. I personally think Dead Rise is good. I don't play it as much as everyone else, but I don't mind it. I don't mind zombies, but it depends on how you do it. Okay? The second point I feel this generation was very lazy in terms of game development as far as developers go. The fact that you had so many gimmicks and that you had games like Call of Duty get so mainstream, everyone felt like, hey, as long as we have gameplay like Call of Duty, we can do it. You have like so many rehashes.
Oh, I think Call of Duty was always mainstream because it's from Activision.
No, what I mean is by once this generation hit, that's when games really started getting mainstream.
And that's the biggest problem, I think, is
that's
with
what happened.
gaming.
Once games became mainstream, people get so hyped up on something that one trailer, now you have like 100 million views on YouTube. People so hyped up for it, you have to just bash games out there, shoot games out there. There's been almost maybe 6 Assassin's Creed games on one console, about 7 Call of Duty games on one console. That's a lot of one series on one console.
Yeah, because Ubisoft, like I told you guys this before, Ubisoft said that fans want an Assassin's Creed every year.
No, we don't.
Like,
no, we don't.
No, we don't.
The second
no, we do
one.
not.
The first one was good enough.
Okay, I played the first one. Loved it to death. It made you feel like an actual assassin gathering information.
Yeah.
Almost feels a bit reminiscent of the Hitman series.
I agree with Bryan. I feel the first Assassin's Creed was the best one. After Assassin's Creed 1, I felt more of an errand boy than an actual
Exactly.
You really will not hear that anywhere else.
I
like,
second this is a bit.
Every person I talk to either says 2 was the best one, Revelations. Brotherhood is like there. Like I haven't really met anyone that said Brotherhood was the best one, but rarely do you hear Assassin's Creed 1 was my favorite. Because it was my favorite, hands down.
If you go back and play Assassin's Creed 1, those graphics are still really
good. That's why it drew me so close to it. I remember I played Assassin's Creed for the first time at my friend's house, and he was rich. And
look
he
at
still
him,
is
he's
rich. And I was playing it on this, but like the whole wall.
Yeah.
Graphics were beautiful, and we were in what? When did Assassin's Creed 1 come out?
07.
07.
It was. I was in 8th grade, so it was 2008. Beautiful. Like the graphics, I was like, wow. Because I didn't own a 360 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got it I think I got it that year actually. When did Fallout 3 come out? 2008?
2008.
Yeah. So I got it the December later in that year. But I was playing Assassin's Creed and it was amazing. Like I didn't know video games could look like that. And to this day, if I played it on this TV or any TV, it's still gonna look great because it's just like it blew me away as
it's a timeless game.
Yeah. It blew me away being that age and now a few years later it's still great.
The one thing I always hated about the Assassin's Creed series is the futuristic aspect of it. I heard originally it wasn't even supposed to have the Animus.
The Desmond section.
Yeah. I heard they basically took it out of one
book, right?
A book. Yeah, and the guy actually sued for it. The guy actually sued for $3 million.
I remember you telling me this.
That almost postponed Assassin's Creed 3's release. I'm not really sure how that whole lawsuit actually, like, I don't know if it's still in court or whatever happened to it, but he makes a good point, and I've actually seen the stories and I've seen the actual comparisons. They flat out stole it. They flat out stole the entire Animus concept from it, and there's no real point. If you play Assassin's Creed 1 and go through it and just take out all the Animus sections, it actually flows like a coherent narrative.
So you think it would have been better without the
Animus?
The Animus sections just feel like padding to me.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I totally get you.
So, go back to what you were saying.
So far I feel like this generation was very gimmicky, and you also had a lot of laziness. The next thing I feel like this generation brought in indie games. Indie games, if you really think about it, are what made this generation for like full-fledged gamers, people who just play games just for the flat-out enjoyment. Indie games are the best choice right now. There's a whole bunch of games. You have the mainstream games, the Gears of War, the Halos, the Mario. You have stuff like that. They're still good. They're not bad.
Those are games like basically defined this generation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Like games like Gears and games like Mario's. I mean, Mario's defined every generation it's been in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have games like Halo and you have games like Gears of War that really like made a huge impact on this.
It appealed to the mainstream because mainstream always loves shooters. And that's a problem. That's I think one of the biggest problems.
That's why
this generation is mainstream, and that's a real problem because the mainstream doesn't know what the fuck they want, so they're just having the same thing over and over and over again, which brings the point that it's lazy.
Yeah, that's why I feel the game industry is going the way of the music route.
Oh, God.
In terms of like, it's all about the money. And if you really listen, the best music is in the underground. It's the same way how with video games. The best games are games not by the mainstream, by the indie developers. You have wonderful games like Bastions telling great stories, good narrative, really great graphics, Super Meat Boy, Binding of Isaac.
Journey was another.
Journey's a great game. You could even consider The Walking Dead an indie game.
Well, Telltale really I don't think is that much of an indie developer. They've had their hands in a lot of stuff since I think the N64.
Yeah, but you have to like consider them indie because they've never been out there like that. You don't
like they're not mainstream. Yeah. That's what you're saying. They're not indie. They're not indie, but they're not mainstream as like.
Yeah, they're not like the Capcoms, the stuff like that.
Well, it's to the point did they publish it themselves?
No.
Then it's not.
Wait, who did?
Indie developers are usually.
They published their games.
Yeah, they did.
They are indie.
Yeah, they published their games themselves.
Yeah, I think it was just Telltale Games that did it.
Yeah, that's why like indie games are really the route to go now, because they're what gamers, if you really think about it, want in terms of something diverse, creative, something new. They're not like what we get every now and then in terms of like laziness. It's something new we get.
Keep going.
So yeah, like I really like the direction that we're going with the indie games. Like the PS4, you have all that new stuff coming out. The main reason I'm actually picking the PS4 up is for the indie games. I like the montage. They show all the indie games. The mainstream games look cool, like Killzone and all that. But I know I'm expect from that. But I really I'm really impressed by the sequel to Bastion. There was some game called The Puppeteer. I like stuff like that. Because it's something new and different and real creative.
Yeah. Hat in Time.
Yeah.
Hat in
Time looks really good. I'm a big fan of Kickstarter. Kickstarter, they have a lot of good prizes over there. You just gotta support them. I don't like the way it's run, but I like the games that people have there.
It's basically a website where you can just go, hey, I need money. Go give me some. I fucking hate that.
That's the thing. Like, I don't like the way some people approach it, but I like the games they have.
If it's for a good cause, then I mean, like. Hat in Time as an example. If you want to make a good game and always keep fans like in the loop of how it's going, then that's fine. That's totally fine.
It just depends on like some people just give like bullshit prizes like $5 gets you a name on a wall that no one's gonna read. Like $15 gets you a T-shirt. Wow. Like it's like sometimes they give really stupid prizes. So it's
Yeah. So like
and like they give prizes like that when you really do care about like like what they're going for.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, that's how I feel about indie games. The fourth point I want to bring up is online. Because, like, online started with the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast failed because it was so ahead of its time, and it came out around the time where the N64 and the PlayStation 1 and 2 were just, like, really dominating. So Sega was, like,
once they came out, they were already superior.
Yeah.
And when the GameCube came out, it was superior. When the PS2 came out, it was graphically superior because they had CDs instead of GBs.
But the thing is, the PS2 was already out. The PS2 had a 2-year, like, advantage around the time the GameCube came out. So, like, it was hard for Nintendo to, like, even though what they had was better, it was hard for them to get out there because people were already sold on the PS2. And then you had the new thing with the Xbox coming out. How I feel with online is that it's been around before, but once it got really huge, like Xbox Live, and you could play games like Halo with like so many people on one console at one time around the world. There's even some games on the consoles where you could fight like 64 people online at once. Online is good. It's really good because you could play with some people who aren't around. Say your friends live far, you want to play with them. It's a good thing, but at the same time, it's bad because not just online in terms of games, in terms of the industry, some people don't even care about the story anymore.
They just do it for the
online.
Some people will some developers will be so lazy, do like a 2-hour campaign, and all they do is shove the online. Sometimes they'll show off at E3. They'll just show off the online.
And I'm
not even care about the story. Just show off the online.
I'm one of the people that do it. To be honest, like I won't say that. I think Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was the only game I did that for, where I went straight to online. I still, to this day, haven't beaten the story for Black Ops 2.
There's a
I've
story
done
to
that.
it?
Yeah,
Right? There's a story?
It's
Yeah.
actually not that
I've
bad.
done that.
But no, the Modern Warfare, the only reason I played all the Modern Warfare, because the Modern Warfare story was actually, for a Call of Duty game, like, decent.
Wait,
Cause,
that had a story too? Shit, I skipped that too.
I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is the best out of all of them, in my opinion.
That one I
Story
didn't
wise,
skip.
or like just the game?
Huh?
Story wise, or just like the whole game?
The story was actually really good for Modern Warfare 2. The online, still untouchable to this day. Online was way better than the Call of Duties that came after it. Some people would say 4 was the best.
4 was really good.
Some people say 4 was the best.
I've
Like,
never
you can't
been
argue with
that
them.
big of a fan of Call of Duty, so like I can't really say. I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since 4.
Well, I
That
always
was the
thought
last
that
one I
World at
cared
War was
about.
I always thought that World at War was the best. Your opinion is irrelevant. Shut up. Okay.
That's actually
I've
the
never
only one
been a
I've never
big
played.
fan of Call of Duty. I thought it was cool, but I thought people overhyped it. I'm not a big fan of its gameplay.
Yeah.
It's good, but I feel like in terms of like other games like Unreal Tournament and Halo, I feel they take more skill. I feel Call of Duty is a little bit more cheap. It's not bad, but it's not what I like, so I don't play it.
Yeah. I mean, I say it all the time that I don't play Call of Duty for the reasons most people play Call of Duty. I mean, I know people that play Call of Duty like
Religiously.
I have to get 50-2 on this.
I have to get 3 Moabs. In
Yeah, like
10 minutes.
like people like that. Like, I play Call of Duty, and this is gonna sound weird to most of you, for enjoyment.
Bullshit! No one enjoys this game! Bullshit!
I'm
No,
not Andre
but-
on that one. I play
But
it for fun.
honestly, I play Call of Duty because, I mean, if I have no other games to play, I play Call of Duty online with friends, and it's it's fun hearing my friends rage. It's
Yeah,
fun,
right.
like, actually leveling up. Like, if you're like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna level up, like, 5 levels tonight, and then get 6 levels, it's like, okay, yeah, like, this game's pretty fun. If you play it as competitive as, I mean, other people play.
Like
Like,
MLG
no,
players,
okay,
like
Basically-
MLG, like, alright, I'm not...
that's
Like,
taking
when
it
people
too
say,
far.
when I get, like, what, 12-5 in a team deathmatch when I'm playing with some of my friends, people are like, damn, you suck. I'm like, I mean, I wasn't going for...
I was just trying to play.
Yeah, I was just trying to play.
You can't
I
take
mean,
Call of Duty very competitively.
Yeah.
You can't take it in the aspect of a hardcore gamer.
Exactly.
You have to take it as a mainstream gamer because that's what it applies to. It goes for mainstream gamers, and if you just take it as an arcade shooter, it'll be all right. Like, you can't just go rage
it really,
over
it really... I mean, if you... There's no skill to Call of Duty. I in my opinion. I mean,
It's true.
there's skill to an extent.
Center screen,
No,
push button.
I
Center
agree.
screen,
Extent.
push button.
Okay,
There's no
let's
skill
say-
because you have 10-year-olds.
Battlefield.
I agree with Andre on this. I always bring up 3
Yeah.
games. In terms of straight up skill, Call of Duty, if you really think about it, does not take that much skill at all in terms of a
I have
shooting game.
2 games.
There's 3 games I always bring up. Unreal Tournament,
Okay, that's not one of mine.
Halo.
I never played Unreal Tournament.
Halo,
And Battlefield.
Unreal Tournament takes, and Battlefield. Battlefield takes skill.
Battlefield.
I will admit that. Battlefield takes
That's a
takes skill.
team effort.
It takes skill.
Battlefield.
You
Oh,
cannot
hell
go,
yeah.
You cannot go solo on
Battlefield,
that.
you
need
can.
some
You can't
team
go
up.
solo dolo on that.
Well, you
need
can,
team
but you
effort
don't
That's
on
why I
that.
love
wait,
it.
Wait,
That's really
wait,
why I
I
love
always
it.
forget this. One more game, Team Fortress 2. That takes skill. Team Fortress 2 definitely
To an
takes
extent,
skill.
yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Battlefield is amazing. I remember
Suck my dick, bitch. Yeah.
playing Battlefield, and honestly, my first Battlefield I ever played was Battlefield Bad Company 1. And I loved it. Like to be honest, I've never heard of Battlefield before Bad Company, and that's my fault. I mean, I'm not gonna...
Have you ever played PC?
No.
That's probably why you never heard of 1942. That's the best one, in my opinion.
I like Battlefield 2.
Like,
Really?
Well, my first
I like
Battlefield was
Battlefield.
I'm not
That's a
like-
good one, too. I'm not gonna lie.
First one.
That's
I'm not
good
gonna
too.
pretend to know my stuff about Battlefield, so I'm just gonna say flat out that Battlefield Bad Company 1 was my first Battlefield.
He's a fake gamer.
And yeah, I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to be like, oh, 19 whatever, 1942 whatever. But I'm just gonna-
1995.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna be totally honest. My first Battlefield, Bad Company 1. I went online. The story, I played it. I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool because it's an army game. Look at that, an army game with an actual story to it. But I went online and it was like amazing. They had 2 game modes. Conquest, I think that was free downloadable content, and
Rush.
and Rush.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved Rush more than Conquest though.
Because actually had an objective.
Yeah, Rush was amazing. I played Battlefield Online, and it was like nothing I've ever. Like I actually would sit in front of my TV for hours playing Battlefield, and I didn't even have friends that had it because no one really
knew about the game.
Everyone was Call of Duty. I was the only Battlefield guy, so I'm playing it, and like I loved how someone got in a car, they waited for you to get in the car. Once like 3 people hopped in the car with them, boom, boom, we just fucking went
Action.
We stormed the house. It was honestly one of my favorites.
I like Battlefield
ever.
for the realism of the game.
Yeah, and
that you have the drop when you shoot bullets.
Yeah,
you can blow up buildings.
the Coriolis effect?
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is.
Like
you
how you shoot it like that and it goes down.
Yeah, like you actually have to like aim
Gravity.
perfectly. You could blow up buildings.
Yes, that's amazing. I think they added that in 2. Like you couldn't blow up an entire building.
Yeah.
And until 2, which was really good.
Ish. Is that all you were saying about the gaming industry?
That's basically how I felt about online. There's one last point, and this is it. Story. This is the generation in terms of when story really became a focus for a lot of games, to the point where if you think about it, gameplay was the second. It was like push the gameplay to the side. Let's make it all about the story. The biggest person who did this, and I really don't like this because I'm a fan of gameplay. I could like a good story, but I'm a big fan of gameplay. Kojima with Metal Gear Solid 4. I feel Metal Gear Solid 4
Calm down, Ryan. Calm down.
started when I feel the demise of gameplay. If you play Metal Gear Solid 4, it's not a bad game, but it's more of a movie. The game is like 80% cutscenes. Like 20 hours of the game is nothing but talking. And you don't really play anything. And I feel like some games are going in that direction. Like, I'm playing Lost Odyssey. Like I said, I like the game.
But that was before.
Yeah.
That was before Metal Gear Solid 4 even came out, so.
No, Lost Odyssey actually came out after Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came out the same year, but like a little bit later.
Nah.
But I do feel some games are like going in that direction of the story is so much more than what the game actually is. Like, The Last of Us came out. The hype is big. Everyone loves The Last of Us. 10 out of 10s.
10 out of 10.
I don't have a problem with that. I love The Last of Us.
It was a great game, but it was a movie.
Yeah, I love The Last of Us, but if I really think about it, was the gameplay so special, and like was everything else about the game besides the story so special that it deserves all these perfect scores that everyone's getting? It's good, but if you think about it, couldn't you feel like the game is more of a movie than actual game? It's not that much of a game. I would have appreciated The Last of Us more if it was a movie. If they just made a full-fledged movie out of The Last of Us, I wouldn't have a problem with that because it's more of a movie than an actual game. That's how I feel like some of these games are going, in the direction of the story is the main focus and you don't have to play the game. It's not a bad thing because like it's good to have a good story.
But it's not a good thing.
But if the story is so good, but the gameplay isn't good at all,
what's the point of playing it?
It doesn't matter. Some games are suffering that from like Remember Me. Remember Me looks like it has a very, very good story, but the gameplay for that. What?
It's gonna open the security thing. That's why I told you not to do it.
No.
Keep going.
Bryan was tampering with the laptop.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, like Remember Me's not a bad game. It's just that its gameplay is so inferior that even though it has a great story, it doesn't matter. It's because if you're bored playing the game, the story doesn't matter at all. Because there's some games where like the story is flat out crap. Metal Gear Rising has amazing gameplay. Good thing it wasn't developed by Kojima because it probably would have had hours of cutscenes. The gameplay in that is so good. I actually forgot there was a story in the game. I just played the game so much I forgot it was a story. You got Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry has a B movie story. No one cares about the story in Devil May Cry at all. Mario games basically don't have stories.
But the gameplay
basically Nintendo games in general, besides Zelda, don't have stories at all. It's just that the gameplay is so good, you dismiss that. It seems like to the point where people are developing this stuff, are making games that they want people to cry to in terms of and get so into the characters that you forget that you're actually not playing something that, if you think about it, isn't that fun. And that's why I feel like it's good to have a good story, but don't make it the main focus of the game because you might make somebody bored playing it and they won't appreciate that. I don't mind good stories in the game, but I'd rather have good gameplay than an actual, like, really good story. Because the gameplay will keep me into it more than the story will. Because if I have fun, that means I'm going to probably play the game over and stuff like that. That's basically how I feel. That's why I choose indie games over, like, the mainstream games now, because they have, like, the really diverse and really unique gameplay. You don't need the best story. You just need a good game. You just need a unique way to play it.
You're damn right we don't.
See, on that, they're focusing on story and not replayability.
Yeah,
exactly.
You play a game once, you're like, okay, I experienced it. I don't want to play it again.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. That's exactly
how I feel
about
most games, to be honest.
Yeah, that's how I felt about this entire generation. Almost none of these games have replayability. Value.
Replayability.
I was trying to say value and ability at the same time.
Revaluability.
Value.
Yeah.
Because like the games like The Last of Us, Uncharted, and stuff like that, they're good, but after you beat the game, you feel no incentive to be like, let me replay this.
Because you already experienced.
Because
Like, all right, I beat the
experienced
story.
the
I did
story.
everything. You don't have to play it again.
Gameplay wise, it's nothing unique. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just a good story. Be like, yeah, it's like if you watch a really good movie, you watch it once and you'll be like, oh yeah, that was good, but you're not gonna go.
You're not gonna pay $12 to see it again.
Yeah, you're not gonna come back and keep seeing it over and over again because you already know what's gonna happen and experienced it. There's nothing unique about it. And some games are just getting so linear to the point where you're like, go straight and you'll know everything that happens in the game.
Final hallway.
Final Hallway 13.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13, the game is so linear. All you do in Final Fantasy 13 is go straight. It's like Square Enix basically said, yeah, we'd rather you guys know about the story than actually play something.
Square Enix. More like straight Enix. Rulers. Rulers aren't even
Stop.
straight. Pajama time.
So yeah, that's basically how I felt. Like, I didn't think this generation was bad, but I felt that it games becoming mainstream basically messed it up. And I feel like it could have been better, but it wasn't bad. We had some good things, but we did have some bad things. But overall, I say it was a decent generation.
Flawed. Andre.
I said most of my points.
Like,
I basically said how I felt.
He said most of his points. When he was talking about Battlefield, he said most of his points.
Yeah.
I'm on that same boat.
No, okay.
I'm on that same boat.
I mostly
We can't say anything.
no. I mostly said how I felt like in between Bryan's and in between yours. But I'm just gonna throw in this.
Right around here.
I'm gonna throw this in and then I'm gonna ask another question. To keep it moving.
Because I haven't gone yet.
Do you want to go?
Nah. I'm just pointing out the fact that you just completely forgot.
All right, Josh is not in the podcast. Just kidding.
So yeah, the struggle ship just threw him overboard. So
Whenever you hear my voice, it's just gonna be edited out.
No, you're just gonna hear a beep. You're just gonna blur you out. Back to Ish's point that he made a while ago about online. How online became like really big. I wanted to say it, but I didn't want to cut him off again because I cut him off like 10 times. But when I was a little young lad,
Pee-wee Andre.
When I was Pee-wee Andre, I grew up in like my mid grow up years, I guess you can say.
Mid grow up years.
Like my mid grow up years, I had a PS2 because earlier everyone and their grandmother had an N64 and an NES or whatever. But I had a PS2, and it was around the time where the Xbox. Well, I mean, the original Xbox. I don't want to confuse anybody. Say Xbox One, but the original Xbox came out. And the big thing about it was it had online. It had like already online built into it, right?
Yeah.
And since I had a PS2, I knew nothing about that. And I remember you had to pay like $30 to get like an adapter, and you put it like I think in the back of your PS3 or whatever. I mean PS2,
yeah.
And then you could play online.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking a guy. I went to Willowbrook Mall and I went to GameStop and I said, "How much is an adapter?" He said $30. I'm like. I went home. I didn't buy it. I went home and I'm playing baseball. One like MLB The Show 13 or not 13.
Wait,
like,
if it's 13 and it
yeah,
came
05, like 05 The Show or whatever.
05, fuck them.
I remember thinking to myself like, this online thing is never gonna catch on.
I got it for you, Josh.
You just killed the whole podcast.
I remember
again?
I told myself I'm like, and I was young, so I didn't know any better. I was like, this online thing is never gonna catch on, cause like if we have to pay $30 and like attach it, like it's never gonna catch on. That's why I thought like I was never gonna get an Xbox, like the original Xbox, because there was really no reason to. My big brother had an Xbox, and I remember he always played Raw. Like when they had Raw back then, it was just Raw, and he just played it. And I always said, you know what, online is probably not gonna be big. It's probably just a thing. It's gonna blow over. But nowadays, it's all about online. Like, oh, like we have people hyping the next Call of Duty, and did they even release they did, right? They released a multiplayer channel.
Yeah.
Dude,
people are like,
realistic hair.
Like,
Realistic
oh my
hair.
god,
You can see the dirt in their fingernails now.
really? I think
Ew.
the big thing is you see the curves on the gun, or whatever. Like when you aim down,
Because that's important.
But yeah, I
It's
never
important
thought
when
it
you
was
get
gonna.
shot.
I never thought online was gonna be like a big thing.
You
But
know,
now
when
it is.
When I was playing COD, I died because I couldn't see like my dirty
Yeah.
fingernails.
Yeah.
And my arm hair.
So do you want to say anything? Because I basically said all my points during there.
No, I said everything I had to say already, anyways.
Okay.
Oh, you said everything you had to say, which was nothing.
All right. This is gonna be.
Hey, I gave my opinion.
This is gonna be the last question because I'm pretty sure it's gonna go for a
Man.
while. Because we already hit an hour here, but
Let's make it quick.
we talked about it before, but I'm gonna ask it again for the sake of the podcast. Do we need a next generation?
Yes.
I
Just
And
yes.
get-
I say yes. I say yes.
Okay.
I feel like the reason why we need a new generation is starting to run its course. This generation is really starting to run its course. I feel like the way I feel it, we do need a new generation, but I also feel like maybe it could have waited almost another year. Because from what I've seen at E3, what everyone else has seen, did the new generation in terms of like the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U, did we really see anything so groundbreaking that you could have felt could have been on the PS3 or the 360, something like that? Because we've seen games like Watch Dogs or stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're coming to PS4,
But they're
and
also
stuff
coming
like
to
that.
PS3 and
Yeah,
360.
PS3, 360.
So
I haven't seen anything that really shows a big difference in terms of like those games.
Now,
I haven't
here's-
seen a big
here's-
difference with that.
Here's where I come at you with that, because it's way too early for a lot of companies to actually get to know the software limitations of the Xbox One or the PS4.
Yeah.
So they have no idea how much they could put in until they get like a
That's
game
why
that
I say I
provides it.
feel like at the same time we need a new generation, but I do feel like some people are rushing it a bit in terms of like we still haven't seen anything so groundbreaking that will make someone feel like, oh, if I get the Xbox One day one, I don't need my 360 anymore. From the looks of it, you still gonna need your older consoles for maybe at least another year, because there hasn't been anything that groundbreaking that's been shown. You got Dead Rising 3. It looks very, very good. But at the same time, I felt maybe it could have been on 360. You got Metal Gear Solid, the new one. It looks good graphics-wise, but hey, you got games like GTA 5 that are pushing the boundaries of the 360 and the PS3 to the point where it looks like an Xbox One title. It looks like something that's next generation. So if we're still able to push out games like that, like The Last of Us, in terms of what people are doing now, do we really need a new generation as of right now? Even with the Wii U. The Wii U is good, but from what I've seen, Nintendo hasn't shown us anything groundbreaking with the controller. All it really showing is that, hey, this is how Mario looks in HD. This is how Zelda looks in HD. Hey, this is Smash Brothers. We're just gonna add more characters and get a new graphic style.
And look in HD.
Yeah, and look in HD. That's all the Wii U basically is. From the looks of it, it just looks like an HD Wii. That's a big step because good
HD Wii.
Yeah,
a Wii HD.
yeah. That's why, like, I don't mind the new generation. I'm glad we're getting into a new one, but I do feel like
it could have waited.
It could have waited a little bit longer than it has.
Until we like really need a new generation.
We do need
We
a new
do
generation.
No, I'm not saying we don't
These
need it.
The Xbox, all of this has run its course.
Yeah, it has run its course. I agree with Bryan with that, but I do
It's been a
agree
long
with
time.
Josh in terms of the fact that maybe they're rushing it a bit in terms of like release dates. Maybe wait a little bit. We could have waited a little bit longer, because from the looks of it, why would you get rid of your Xbox 360 to get an Xbox One when something like GTA 5 isn't even coming out for the Xbox One?
Now, I'm not one of those guys to just get rid of a console.
Yeah, some people are like that though. Some people are like, hey, it's the new generation, the old console's obsolete. They'll just get rid of it.
Yep.
Some people are like that. I feel you can't do that with this right now because there's nothing on the new consoles that makes it seem like, are you really going to buy a game like Rise at launch? It looks decent at best.
No, people are going to buy Titanfall because yes.
Yeah, but Titanfall doesn't come out until next year. So why get the console at launch?
Yeah, that too.
At least wait till something
that's
getting
what I'm like.
comes out.
From the looks of it, nothing really worthwhile that's gonna last you a long time is coming out as of right now on the new console.
We just gotta hope and pray that something good comes along.
That's why, like, I felt like what we got with the new consoles is good. I'm glad we're getting a new generation, but it just could have waited a bit.
Because I thought the same thing with the beginning of the Xbox, the 360 launch. There was really no groundbreaking games.
Nothing
aside from like Assassin's Creed 1,
Assassin's Creed,
graphics wise.
that came out in 07.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you see how long that took?
Yeah, a whole year.
Exactly. And then Fallout 3 coming to the 360 as well. That looked really good. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta just give it time. That's all you gotta do.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Time. That's what I'm saying with all these consoles. Even the Wii U, even though the sales are bad, I feel the only reason Nintendo's getting so much like shit for this is the fact that
they're Nintendo.
All they do is make video games. Nintendo, if you think about it, they don't have all this other stuff. All they do is make video games. You got a company like Sony who basically were in debt when the PS3 came out. It was bad. It wasn't selling at all. The Wii U actually hit like over 1 million faster than the PS3 did because like the PS3, it was so much money, no one could really buy that.
$599 US. Giant enemy crabs. Did you really want to pay $600
that's the thing,
for that?
$600 over here. You have to think overseas in like the places like Europe and stuff like that. That's over $600, and you have to buy a game, and maybe if you have a brother or son, another controller. That's almost $1,000 right there just for one console, and you only might play one game at launch. You got
Wait, what are we talking about?
What do you mean?
We're talking about the PS2.
I'm done.
No.
I'm done.
PS4.
No, I was
PS4 is nice.
You're not paying attention.
I was talking about.
He's talking
how,
about like the PS3, how it was when it came out.
I was talking about like how it was when it came out and how it was so much money.
I zoned
It's
out.
like I was kind of like defending Nintendo in terms of like they're not as bad off people say they are.
Okay.
The sales aren't that good. It's just that the Brian, you okay?
I'm asleep though.
Okay.
I zoned out. I was like,
How the fuck did you zone out?
Yeah.
I was looking at the air conditioner. I was like,
Look how much it showed. Look how much
You were saying?
It's just that the sales aren't that good, but you gotta give it time. The PS3, it started off worse than the Wii U. Even the 3DS started off bad, but you have to give it time before games actually come out there. You don't have to have like AAA titles right at launch. That's why I always said you don't need to get a console the day it comes out.
If it comes out with like something worth getting, then
yeah. Some games.
I'm getting the Xbox One day one because
at you.
I really want to play Dead Rising 3. I'm a huge Dead Rising fan.
Yeah, if you have something out there, get it day one if you want.
And I don't even I don't really know I'm gonna get Ghost, but I don't know what I'm gonna get it for. I mean, if I'm not gonna get it day one. I'm probably gonna get it next year.
The year
two. But I don't think. I mean, it makes more sense to get it for the one if I'm gonna have it anyway. It's the same price as a 360 game, so I might as well get it for the one. But like, I'm not. Dead Rising is really the only game I'm looking forward to, and that's why I'm getting thing just so I can play Dead Rising 3 because I'm a huge fan. Rise
looks interesting.
It looks interesting, and they even said who's making Rise.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Who the hell is the?
I
don't know.
It wasn't Ubisoft.
It's
it
kind
wasn't
of like
Ubisoft.
a problem with Killer
Rise
Instinct.
Entertainment.
No, it's not Ubisoft because they're busy with Watch
I
Dogs.
feel like it was kind of a problem, like with how Killer Instinct was announced. Rare was doing this whole thing, like, yeah, we got this huge announcement. We're gonna bring back one of our old franchise, all of that, and then like you get them talking about, they say like, oh, the new Connect Sports. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really went down. Like it went down and up and down and up.
Yeah.
That was their whole E3 press conference. It was up, down, up, down,
then
up, down.
Killer Instinct finally gets announced. You're so excited for it, and then you start hearing some things about the game after the presentation that had. Now you have to pay for every single character that comes out. You only get 2 characters when you get the game.
Yeah.
But at least but at least Connect Sports is coming out though.
And the other thing that really
Connect
makes
Sports
it bad,
Rivals.
Killer Instinct isn't
Thank
even made. The new one isn't even made by Rare, so that's another skeptical thing about it.
Yeah.
So like that makes you wonder.
Where the fuck is Rare?
Yeah, where the fuck is Rare?
No, they're doing Connect Sports. Remember?
Hey, maybe they might come back and do something. But as of right
Another
now,
Connect
I
Waiting for
feel
another
like
banjo.
it's gonna come.
Waiting for another banjo.
Banjo 3.
Forever waiting for another banjo.
It's gonna come.
I can't say anything. I've never played any of the banjos.
It's pretty good.
Oh, so good.
It's so
I
good.
know.
You could buy them. Oh, I was gonna say you could buy them on Xbox, but you
So what do you
don't
guys
have
think? Do we really need another console generation?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but
But
it
not
could have
now.
waited. But it could have
Well,
waited.
not now. You're basically on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a,
I still
Well,
could have waited.
I mean, I'm kind of on both sides of the fence because if you have, if most of your games, like Watch Dogs, like like GTA 5 to an extent, and what else?
Dogs.
I had another one.
that.
Well, I'll just use GTA 5 as the
That
primary.
Tom Clancy game.
That's coming out for next generation too.
That's coming out for
Alright,
next gen.
The crew, right?
So that so I'll use those two. I'll use GTA, Watch Dog. I use 3. Watch Dogs, GTA, Splinter Cell.
Not
if-
Splinter Cell.
If you
Crew.
what?
The
The
crew.
Crew.
The racing game.
Oh, I don't know about
Either
that.
or the Division.
But
The Division. That's
I'll
the
just
one
talk
I'm
about
talking
Splinter Cell.
That's the one I'm talking about. The Division.
Oh, all right, then forget about Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
I'll just use Watch Dogs and GTA.
Damn, you're so
Watch Dogs to an extent that it is coming out for both. It's coming out for next generation and
this
this
generation.
If it's coming out for
And this year.
if it's coming out for this generation, then what's the point of having the new console if you could just get that game for the old one? You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it's for people that don't want to spend $500 yet or $400 yet on a new console. They just, all right, I'll stick with this one, just play it. But same thing, if it's capable on the old system, why would you buy on the new system?
Maybe if it did something different for the new system.
Yeah,
But if it's the
but it's the
exact-
same exact
Yeah,
game.
But that's the thing I'll talk about. We haven't seen anything remarkable on the new console yet that shows that we need it so bad.
And that's like a big point on GTA 5 because
Yeah.
we haven't even seen screenshots for the next generation for GTA 5. All the screenshots and all the trailers we've seen have solely been from PS3 and Xbox 360. We've never seen anything from the next generation. So how different is it going to look? You see how beautiful it is? Like beautiful it looks from the screenshots.
That's a new
and the
French
trailers,
pronunciation of beautiful.
like-
I actually haven't seen anything from it.
Like, it looks remarkable. The screenshots and the trailers
Impeccable.
from this generation. So how better is it going to look for the next generation? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, why do we need it if it's going to look that good? Like I said before, it's like it's for. I guess it's for the people who don't want to spend all that money to get a new
Just
system yet.
gotta give it time. You just don't know yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like we could have waited a bit.
Yeah.
Nah, we need it. We need it desperately. I'm probably disagree with all of you guys here. We need it desperately. When you guys are like, oh, we gotta wait. We've already waited what 7 years?
No, I said I'm on. I'm
Yeah, you're on the
I'm
side.
on the fence
Hey,
because I don't know.
If you're a Microsoft,
I'm not
fan,
really-
you rated 8.
Yeah, that's true.
Because on 360 came out 05.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck 'em.
Right.
Oh my. Twice.
Yes!
I think,
Yes!
I think you said it before. He said it more. I
Will
think he
be
said
his
3
life.
times.
No, he said it once, and
Josh?
I lost hope in
You feel
this.
like
Josh,
Well,
what do you think?
You feel like they
So,
about to
un-
say
since I'm always
something.
since
Yeah,
I was last,
what
I'm
do you
Unnamed fourth wheel. What
What
do you think?
do you feel?
well,
Come on, man. We're shooting all these points. And
I know,
game
and-
points.
Bullets!
You guys are saying
Facts!
everything, and I'm.
You disagree.
I agree
Who?
with the following statement.
I agree with.
Josh.
I agree with everything.
That's a quote.
Everything
Josh,
that has been
2013.
said, I have agreed with.
I agree with everything. Josh, 2013. Is that it? You good?
Like I said, since I'm last, I already said everything I had to say.
Well, then, no, I understand because he like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like the second
Yo,
to last, the last,
Next
you
time,
already.
next time we'll let him go first.
Yeah,
I went
you'll
first
go
for the
first.
thing.
Exactly, and you said everything you needed to say.
All right, well, yeah, my
Alright,
points
so-
have been said. Well, the only thing I gotta say is for the new generation, for like the first, I say maybe 12 to 18 months, you can't really say anything because that's a trial period for the
Thank
new
you.
console.
Yeah, basically.
Thank you.
So you can't be too harsh on anything they release
Yeah.
or do with it.
Agreed.
Oh, Ben, but
Agreed.
when it comes to Microsoft, people are freaking. Like
Dude,
they're.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
why. His eyes just bugged out of his fucking head right
No,
now.
'cause-
but Microsoft.
But when he said
Praying
that,
mantis
when
right
he
there.
said that, like people are going ham on Microsoft, and the console has not even come out yet. Like DRM, that was the first thing.
It's because games became mainstream. Some people don't know anything about all the stuff that happened with the Xbox One when it first got announced.
Like I said, the mainstream doesn't know what the
like,
fuck they want.
It first started off with the DRM. Then they dropped the price on us. And, alright, I'll start with that. The price, I'll end with that because I don't think I have another point other than this. But the price, $600. The reason it's $600, and hold on, I want to correct myself earlier. I think I said the PS4 was 400. It's actually 500. Wait, how much is the 360? I mean, the 5.
The one
what is 500?
All right,
PS4,
all right. So I was right.
PS4
So I was right when I said the PS4 was 400.
So this makes that point completely irrelevant.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, all right. It's 500, but now Microsoft is saying that the Kinect doesn't have to be plugged in.
Yeah, so they're gonna come out
They
with
announced it.
packages.
No, but they announced it. Everyone realized, but everyone thought that was the reason it was 500 because we're paying an extra 100 for the Kinect. But if it doesn't have to be plugged in, why do we still have to pay the $100? Like they're forcing us to buy the Kinect. Basically, that's basically what they're doing. They're forcing us to buy the Kinect.
Even if you don't need it.
Even if you're fat and you can't really move around that much.
Hey,
you have to pay $100 for something you're never gonna use. Because I know people that bought the Kinect, never use it. All it's doing is collecting dust on the shelf. Never use it. So now it doesn't have to be plugged in. So why do we have to pay an extra $100 to buy it? You know what I mean? But people are going ham on it.
You see?
And if you have people like our friend Marcus that goes like, it's cheaper, then it's cheaper.
That's why.
But it's
PS4 is
cheaper
better.
though. But
it's cheaper.
But it's cheaper. But you don't have all these things that the PS4 has, or you don't.
But
have
it's cheaper.
But you don't have the revolutionary tablet from the Wii U.
Oh, but another thing that's interesting that if you get the Xbox, it comes with a sticker.
Okay.
So you could just put the sticker on the camera because people are worried that the NSA and everything that's going on, they could watch you. I don't really believe in all that stuff, but
Illuminati. Dude.
But I don't believe that the government's listening to me right now as I speak into my phone. But I mean, the government's scary. But people think like, oh, they're gonna be watching me and whatever from the Kinect. If you're that paranoid, you could just put the sticker on the camera and then be on your way.
Turn the Kinect around. That's
about
it.
face.
Yeah.
Disconnect it.
You can now, so just disconnect it.
Yay! I think we gotta call it quits.
I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was good.
I think it was horrible, but
It was-
job anyway.
It was all over the place.
That was our first podcast.
All right, guys.
Hour. Fuck you.
If you stayed for this long, we want to thank you. This is Andre. This is Josh, Brian, Ish,
and Bryan.
and Brian.
And Josh.
Saying thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. All right.
Sunday.
So thanks, guys, and we'll see you. Josh pressed the wrong button. So all right.